Well, that was easy.
Okay, cool. It worked.
Problem is, how do I set a background?
Are you on the app? The app?
No, I just did it from the link. Actually, let me try and join it from the app. It should show the meetings in there, right?
Yeah, and you could use the access code and password to go from the app too.
Okay. All right. I'll see you in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Nope. Let me go back and see if I need to sing him. There we go.
So I think we're on the same account right now.
Cause issues.
No, all it did was I noticed you switched out or tried to log in or log out because it kicked out all my virtual backgrounds. I had to re-add them again.
Okay.
But this seems to be working, so I could care less.
All right.
All right, so I have 2 CBOC members. I'm going to go ahead and let them in if you're comfortable.
Sure.
Hi, Alba. Hi, Glenn.
Oh, hi.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. Okay, where's my water?
How are things for you, Glenn?
You're doing well. How about with you?
Just living this work from home life, Glenn.
Living the COVID dream, huh?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Glenn, you were traveling. If I memory serves me a little bit, were you traveling a little bit with your consulting? So I'm assuming
I was for a while, and then that came to pretty much an abrupt halt because it was hard to meet with people, which I don't blame them. And so, but it's getting back to a little bit of normal now.
that's good. And now my wife's school, she works in La Mesa Spring Valley. They just announced that they're going to push to bring all the kids back at the end of February. And
Wow.
That'd be great.
so,
Where does she teach, if you don't mind me asking?
oh, not all. She teaches over at Rancho Elementary School.
Mhm.
She works in their special education department.
Very nice.
Yeah. So she's worked at a few different schools in that school district, but she likes it.
Good.
Hey, Dave.
Stephen, how we doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad.
So it looks like everybody survived our weather that we finally had. Looks they had some hail, which was interesting.
Well, we had, I just moved up, my wife and I just moved up to Alpine, and we got a lot of wind.
Yeah.
It was the back of our house is right on a canyon. So it was like we were told by the neighbors, be prepared for the wind. And they were right. And about 1:30, 1:40 in the morning, a couple of nights ago, the hail on the window woke me up, and the motion light had gone on, and behind the hail, I could see the flakes of snow coming down. So it was hailing, raining, and snowing all at the same time.
Wow.
And I thought, this is a bad time not to be religious.
Did you lose power at all? Did they do any of those?
No,
we're
we're like right on the very western edge. We're basically kind of Harbison Canyon more.
Okay.
We're about as west as you can get in Alpine, and haven't had any of the power outages or anything. We've been lucky.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, Fred. Hi, Christy.
Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Dave, what's happening?
Fred, how we doing, sir?
Doing well, and you?
Not too bad, not too bad. You staying busy?
Trying, man.
Yeah.
How about you? How things? Looks like this is a busy time for you guys.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Our hours up. We're up this year 26% compared to last year.
Wow.
Wow.
With everything going on, it's just it's nuts. It's like being in a different world compared to what you're seeing on the news and everything. So we'll take it while we can get it.
Look.
Hey, Ken.
Howdy. I got some really bad lighting. Jeez Louise. It's bouncing right off my forehead.
Need to get yourself a makeup artist, come in and powder you down before the meeting.
I need something, man.
Steven, did you say Marty was going to be on this?
Marty will be on. Yes.
Okay.
We'll do the CBA update.
Okay.
I'll say you do have one of the better backgrounds, though, Ken.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
The only thing it ever gets used for.
Hey, Marty. Hi, Odie.
Good evening.
Mr. Marte.
Martin,
How are you? Hey, everybody. Mr. Gautier, how are you, sir?
That is a company man. I got the GAFCON building right behind you. That is a company man right there.
Yeah, he's gonna put that brand in there. Do we have to pay for that?
Yeah.
Always representing, Dave. I've learned from you.
Fair enough. If I don't have a sheet metal sticker on it, it isn't mine.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's cool. Hi, Glenn.
Hello, I'm
Howdy.
here.
Nice. It's got the audio going. I love
In case
it.
you didn't notice, I want you to know I just left another CBOC meeting to get here. You guys double me up.
Was that, which one is that, Glenn?
Grossmont High School.
Okay, gotcha. All right. There's Sahar. Hi, Sahar.
Hello, how are you? How is everyone?
Good.
everybody's doing well. How are you? Sahar?
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Lynn and I, we were just finishing up a meeting. So Lynn said she'll be a few minutes late, but she said we don't have to wait for her. So
Okay.
do we have everyone, Stephen?
Just about. Hey, Paul.
Steven, how are you doing?
Good. You?
Doing very well, thank you.
There's Vincent.
Yeah, I don't, oh, here's Kim.
Hey, Vincent.
Hey, Steven.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good.
Stephen, do you know if Andrea Kaiser will be joining us today?
She had told me she was going to attend.
Oh, she was, okay.
I only, and actually, there she is. Perfect.
Oh, here she is.
Hi, Andrea. Hi, Carmen.
Hello. Hi, Alba. Good to see you.
All right.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Carmen. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right.
And I think, how about Odie? Do you know if she was gonna?
She was on briefly, and I don't know if she was having tech difficulties, but she logged off. So hopefully she'll be able to reconnect soon. But other than Odie, I believe that is everyone as far as the CBOC goes. We have our presenters, and here's Leonard joining. So other than Dr. Nault, as you mentioned, we didn't have to wait for her, and Odie's joining right now.
Oh, okay, good.
So we have a full CBOC.
All right.
Hi, Odie.
Here we go.
Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Hey, Leonard.
Hey,
All right. I love it. We've got everyone here.
volume good? Sound good?
Sound is great.
Loud and clear, like a midnight DJ.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. What's your call sign?
Oh man, KJUT. Gotta remember what it is.
All right. Well, we can go ahead and get started then, Dave.
Alrighty.
Stephen, are you going to share the agenda or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
So we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. I believe it's 6:03. And we were gonna, Stephen, we're gonna do the Pledge of Allegiance. Do you have the flag for the screen?
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
And here, sorry. All right, is everyone still seeing the agenda? 1 second. There we go. All right.
All right. I'll go ahead and lead then.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. All right, Stephen, we'll go ahead and let you take care of roll call.
All righty. Alba Orr.
Here. Present.
Perfect. Andrea Kaiser.
Present.
And is it Andrea or Andrea?
Andrea.
Andrea. Perfect. Dave Gauthier.
Here, sir.
Glenn Sparrow.
Present.
Glenn Wilhite.
Here.
Carmen Noor.
Present.
Did I say the last name correctly?
Yes, thank you.
Christy McAgay.
Present.
All right.
Oh.
Leonard Pinson.
Here.
Odie Goward.
Here.
Perfect. Did I pronounce that last name correctly, Odie?
Did you say Goward?
I did.
Very good.
You're good. Paul Schroeder
Present.
and Vincent Kugner.
Present.
All right. Everyone's here.
All right, thank you very much. I believe that at one point we didn't have any public comment. Stephen, is that still the case?
Yes. No comments were emailed to me prior to this meeting.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and go into membership update with Sahar. She is going to introduce the new members. I would just like to take a moment as a chair to say thank you to all the new members for committing a little bit of time to the district, and welcome aboard. And I'll let Sahar go ahead and take care of the introductions.
Thank you, Dave. So we have 4 new members that just joined the CBOC. I'll start with Andrea Kaiser. She is a Grossman College student rep, and I'll ask each one just to give some background on themselves. So Andrea, do you want to just say a few words about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Sahar said, my name is Andrea Kaiser. I am 18 and this is my 2nd semester at Grossmont College. I sit on the ASGC board and I am the board of director of board affairs. So I take care of our agendas, our meeting minutes and stuff like that. I actually don't live in San Diego, not quite yet due to COVID, but I went to high school in Murrieta, so about an hour of you guys, and I'm really excited to be here and help out. Thanks.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for being with us. And then we also have Carmen Noor, and she is presenting the College Advisory Committee. She will be a representative for that. Carmen, welcome, and would you like to say a few things?
Sure, thank you so much. My name is Carmen Noor. I'm currently the executive director at Biocom Institute. So supporting primarily on a workforce development capacity, serving the entire state of California. We are an affiliate of Biocom, whose membership is over 1,300 members. I'm also serving on an advisory capacity with Grossmont College's workforce development career technical education programs. So happy to be here.
Thank you, Carmen, for being on the CBOC. And we also have Odie Goward or Goward.
Either way is good.
Oh, okay. And she's representing the finance and accounting.
Yes. So I am Odie Goward. I am with California Bank and Trust at the Grossmont Center office. Been there about 13 years, been in banking in East County for about 30 plus, working in the field of commercial lending as well as construction lending. So been in banking just a few years.
Yeah, well, thank you, Odie. Thank you
Yeah.
for being on the CBOC. And then we have Alba Orr, and she is representing the Senior Citizens Organization. Alba?
Yes, thank you.
One second.
Alba Oren, I'm a retired employee of Grossmont College. Still enjoying my permanent pay vacation on a daily basis. And I'm happy to be and hoping to learn a lot in this committee. Thank you.
Thanks, Alba. Thank you for joining. Stephen, Lynn just texted me and she said that she's in the waiting room. Oh, you're here, Lynn. Okay. Welcome, Lynn. All right. So Lynn, we just finished with the introduction of our 4 new members, the CBOC. So we're happy to have you all joining. Also, being part of the CBOC, each members we would like each members to be on our subcommittees. So we have 3 subcommittees. We have the audit subcommittee, we have communications subcommittee, and we have a construction subcommittee. So I'll ask Stephen to talk about each of the subcommittee, and then we would like the 4 new members to select a subcommittee, and then also Christy, I think also we need you to select one of the subcommittee to be on. So Stephen, do you want to just give us some highlight on those subcommittees?
Absolutely. So as Sahar mentioned, there's 3 subcommittees. The first subcommittee is the communication subcommittee. And the whole mission of that subcommittee is to prepare our annual report, which we'll be discussing later today, which is essentially the CBOC's year in review and what happened in course of the bond program. What happened with construction? Did we put a new building up? Did we start new construction? Other components consist of our CBA, which is our labor agreement, which we'll also be talking about tonight. So that commitment is a once a year, typically, for meeting, and we're looking for about 2 to 3 members to join that. I believe Paul is our lone communication subcommittee member.
I'm it.
Yeah.
And I happen to be the chair also, just because by default.
So that's the communication subcommittee. The construction subcommittee is headed by Glenn Wilhite. Pre-COVID, we'd have 2 to 3 site visits where we'd take the CBOC out to the active construction sites or a completed project, and we'd have the project manager of that specific job tell you about what's gone into this building, what was the length of construction, things of that sort. So we're working with the colleges to kind of create a new experience until we can start seeing each other in person and going to the sites. So that commitment again is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a year, just pending what's going on with construction. And we're looking for 1 to 2 members for that. Lastly, we have the audit subcommittee, which is headed by Glenn Sparrow. That is also a once a year type commitment, sometimes more as needed. And really the sole purpose of that subcommittee is to review the district's audits, the financial and performance audits. And what happens typically is we'll have the auditor, district's auditor, come onto the phone, do a conference call or meet in person, and they'll kind of go over the highlights of said audit. And that audit committee will be free to ask questions and review the audit. So we're looking from 1 to 2 people to join that subcommittee. And the last thing I want to add, regardless of subcommittee assignment, you can attend all of the subcommittees. So all subcommittee member or all CBOC members are invited to attend all subcommittees. Just because you fall into one particular category does not exclude you from one of the other subcommittees. So I'll pass it back to Sahar, and we can go one by one and see which one you all are interested in.
Thank you, Stephen, for that. So let's start with Andrea. Do you know which subcommittee you would like to serve?
Yeah, they all sound really interesting, but I think I'll give some company to Paul and help out with the communications committee.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
How about Carmen?
Thumbs up.
I'll support as I can, all 3, but I'll join the construction committee.
Great, thank you. And then Odie?
I'm pretty open as well. I like the construction committee, but.
How about the audit committee? Probably. No?
I was looking for fun. So. Yes, I can do that as well. That's what I'm saying. I'd be happy to fill in where you need.
I think the audit probably will fit perfect.
Yeah, especially after all the PPP loans this last couple of weeks.
And then Alba?
Yes, I would like to join the audit committee. This sounds very interesting, but also the construction one. But my first preference is the audit.
Okay.
Great, thank you, Alba. And then Christy?
I'll pick the construction.
Okay, great. Thank you, Christy. And then also, before we move on, Stephen, I'd like to take a few moments to introduce, we have some folks from GAFCON for the new members. As you know, we hired a GAFCON to manage our Prop V bond. So I'll ask Jim. So we have Jim Bray. Jim, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Jim Bray. I'm the program manager for GCCD. I've been doing this for about 20 years, and very grateful for the opportunity and all the wonderful projects.
Great, thanks, Jim. And we also have Fred Parker.
Good evening. My name is Fred Parker. I manage all the projects for GAFCON system-wide, but formerly was the program manager at Grossmont Cuyamaca and have worked very closely with Sahar and Ken and other CBOC members, and also recently with Lynn since she took over as chancellor. Really looking forward to working with all of you to continue successfully delivering this program. Nice to meet you all virtually.
Thank you, Fred. And then we also have Marty Glaske.
Good evening, Marty Glaske, Senior Vice President with GAFCON. I have been with GAFCON for 16 years and been affiliated with the Grossmont Cuyamaca Community College District program for 15 of those years. So I'm excited. Tonight I'll be talking about the Community Benefit Agreement and working with all the members, and look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Marty. Also, I'd like to introduce Ken Emmons. He's the Senior Director and for facilities, and he oversees the Prop V funds too. So Ken.
Hi, I've been at the district for about 17 years, at both colleges for about 7. And I go back with Alba at least 17 years ago. So welcome aboard, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ken. And Lynn, I'm sure everyone knows you, but I don't know, did you want to say anything?
Sure. Good evening. I'm Lynn Nault. I'm the Chancellor of the Grossmont Cuyamaca Community College District. Still brand new, so trying to find my way. But thank you to our new members. We really appreciate you participating in this important committee that provides oversight to our bond program. So thank you for being here.
Great. Thank you, Lynn. All right. I think, did I miss anyone, or I think I got everybody? All right. Thanks, Stephen.
All right, back to Dave.
All right. So hopefully everybody's had a chance to review the minutes from our October meeting. And I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes from October 28th.
So moved, from Paul Schroeder.
All right. Any opposed to the motion? All right, seeing none, minutes are accepted. We've got a couple of follow-ups from that meeting, the SDCTA performance audit criteria, and I believe Sahar gets to take the mic back on that one and give us a little background.
Yes, thank you, Dave. We had met, the audit subcommittee, we met back in December, and we reviewed, as we talked about it here, the new audit criteria that the SDCTA came up with. And I believe the direction is that we would like to, the district would like to implement those criteria as part of our audit. But we didn't, it was too late to do it for this fiscal year. So the plan is for next fiscal year, 21-22, these criteria will be included in our audit, in our performance audit. So the next step that we will do is we will take resolutions. My understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, Stephen, that we would take a resolution to the governing board to include that in that audit. Is that correct, Stephen?
That is correct, Sahar.
Yeah. Any question on those criteria? I think we looked at those criteria at the last time. Just a quick update on where we are with the audits. As you know, we had received extension from the state on submitting our audits report. Usually we have to have them filed by December 31st, but we got extension to submit those audits until March. So we are in the last stage of finalizing our audit report. So our next meeting is scheduled for the subcommittee. The audit subcommittee is not scheduled till February to look at our audit reports. I haven't heard any negative regarding the reports, but we will know more probably by the end of the week with the Prop V audits. So the plan is to take the audits to the March governing board. But of course, before we do that, we will have them for the audit subcommittee, and then we'll bring them here to the CBOC.
Perfect.
All right.
Dave,
yes, sir.
excuse me. Sahar, I just checked the minutes and from the last meeting, and I can't find the performance audit criteria. Stephen, could you send that out to me when you get a chance, please?
Yeah, I can send that out to the entire CBOC.
Yeah, that will be great, Stephen. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right. We also had another item that we're going to touch on tonight, and that is the local hire outreach. And I know Marty's going to cover that during his CBA update. So stay tuned for that. And then I believe next we go on to the chairman's annual report to the governing board. And we've got a near complete draft. Some of the changes they've made for the audit have kind of pushed it back a little bit. We're going to get final approval for everybody on the CBOC and present this in the April meeting, and then present it to the board in May. The annual report is kind of a good way, and I know it's in the email attachment that went out to everybody. it's kind of a good way for us to introduce ourselves to the district, to the board, and to students and staff, explain what our purpose is, explain the importance of the transparency. We're playing with taxpayers' money here, so it's very important for us to have oversight over how that money is being spent and ask important questions. And it's also extremely important to communicate to the citizens and members of the district that the importance of local hire for all the construction that's going on, all the bond construction. And that is what we mean by CBA. It was the PLA, Project Labor Agreement, and the board changed that to CBA, which stands for Community Benefits Agreement, because this agreement is intended to benefit the entire community, not just the individuals working on these construction sites who are hopefully local taxpayers, but also that revenue staying within the district. So all those things get touched on in that annual report. It's got my name at the bottom, but it's definitely a team effort. Stephen helps out a lot. Sahar gives a lot of information. Jim gives quite a bit of information. A lot of resources get poured into this, and then we present it to the board as soon as it's ready. Stephen, did I miss anything on that?
No, I think you covered it in its entirety too, and it did come out as an attachment. But as you'll see, as what Dave touched on, in relation to the community benefit agreement, we have statistics based on local hire, which will go into further explanation later. You have your projects and where they're at status-wise as far as bond projects go for both campuses, Grossmont and Cuyamaca. And then, as Dave mentioned, his signature line is the address. And this is the address to the public, which covers all the highlights from the year.
All right.
Dave?
Yes, sir.
A couple of comments. I'm not sure where this is in the process, but just a couple of editorial issues. Right at the top where it says Citizens Bond Oversight Committee, we need to say whose that is. We need to put Grossmont Cuyamaca on there someplace.
Good catch.
Probably the logo, whatever, is down at the bottom. And then at the bottom, I would suggest that we put a block in there that gives the address for people to get in touch with us, the email, and the website blocked off so people can find us and get information to us or from us if they desire. Maybe put that right at, I know it's there in little bitty type. I would like to see it in a big block where it's easy to find and it's hyperlinked so that you can hit that and get right into our website. Is that possible, Stephen? Or whoever, communications?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we can add to it. I have no issues adding to the annual report. Just we're at the point too where we've gone through 3 different cycles of editorial. So I'm not sure if we want to continue to add in there, but I'm more than happy to add that content if that's what the CBOC wants.
I can't speak for the CBOC.
Well, as chair, I'm happy to have that be added to the annual report. I think those are good additions, and I'm kind of jumping ahead to when I was going to talk about it, but we did have what 5 or 6 people in the initial meeting, which was a great turnout, and had some great editorial comment in that one too. And I appreciate that you guys are looking at this even after the fact on this kind of final draft and making sure we get everything in there that should be in there. So kudos to the group. And so yeah, let's get that in there, Stephen, if we can.
Okay, so I'll add kind of the GCCD at the top too.
Yeah, at the top. Yeah.
And then I'll add maybe, is everyone seeing the annual report right now?
Yes.
So maybe something down at the closing paragraphs about contact. If
Yeah.
like to contact a member of your CBOC, I can direct it to.
Right.
You can just take that picture out of there and put whatever you want to put in there. I'm happy.
I was going to make that a little bit bigger, Dave.
No.
Okay.
That's a great idea. Appreciate that.
No
Is
problem.
that Glenn who came up with
Thank
that?
you, Paul.
Yeah, good job.
All right, so, well, I'll tell you what, why don't we go right into our chair reports, our subcommittee reports, and Glenn, we'll start with you, sir.
Yeah, we're still trying to get the audit committee organized and have the meeting, and it's set for February now, where we will talk about the audit, and I assume, Stephen, meet with the auditors. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So Stephen will be getting in touch with all those people who are involved in the audit committee and set up some sort of a Zoom meeting in February.
Perfect.
Right.
And as Stephen said, anybody that wants to be there is certainly welcome to come. And if you want to meet with the audit people and find out how these things are put together, you're certainly welcome to show up.
Yeah, and a good example was the number of people we had join in on the communications subcommittee was a great turnout on that one.
Agreed.
Right. Mr. Sparrow, anything else?
That's all I have. I'm willing to respond to questions or send them to Stephen to respond to.
Okay. All right. Paul, let's go ahead and go right into communications.
Yeah, I think I've kind of talked about it pretty much in the entirety of what I was going to say. And November 17th was when we did have our subcommittee meeting. And as I mentioned, we had 5 or 6 folks join in on that with Stephen and I, and went really through a nice review of the draft report. And we changed quite a few things in terms of the layout, and I think made it look a lot, and I wouldn't say a lot better, but certainly easier on the eye and easier to read through. I think it was a good input from everybody who joined the meeting. And then I think, and Dave, you already talked a little bit about how this is tied into the audit report. So this formal 2020 annual report is not going to actually get to the board until, is it April or May? May, I think,
May,
right?
yeah.
May, yeah. So there's still a little ways to go, but as Stephen said, we don't want to keep, I think these are kind of the last changes we talked about tonight, so we can move forward, other than getting in the results of the final audit to make sure that that's in there in detail in terms of what happened on that. And all, as Sahar said, I think this is in good shape in terms of we're expecting to get good results so far on the early returns that we've had looking at that. So I think we're in good shape on the annual report, as well as the audit coming in and being placed into that in detail. And I think that ends my report on our subcommittee.
Thank you, Paul.
You bet.
And Glenn is probably going to be pretty quick. What do you got, Glenn?
It is pretty quick. Since we didn't have a meeting, I was wondering if we thought we might be able here in this coming quarter with social distancing and still trying to have a on-site meeting and see if that was possible. But obviously during this time, we didn't have a meeting this quarter.
Okay. So I'm curious, what is the district's stance right now? I know construction sites are open and you got workers out there. Is there any interest at all from the not only the committee but the administration on having us walk a job site, or do we want to just be better safe than sorry and hold off on that?
We have employees working on campus now, so we're back with essential employees, and I think with distancing and face coverings, I think it would be fine. I know we have a groundbreaking that's going to be happening at Cuyamaca, so it would just be a subset of our group, correct?
Correct.
The subcommittee? Yeah, I think that would be fine. Don't you, Ken? Do you see any problem with that? I think it would be nice. My dream is to open up for fall, so I'm trying to get, I'm trying to remain very hopeful that we'll be back in a significant way for fall. So if Ken's willing to host you walking a job site, I think that would be great.
Yeah, definitely. No problem at all.
Matt, face coverings and distancing, that's standard.
I mean, Agreed. And I think we just have to kind of look at total group size and everything like that.
Yeah. And
Great. All
Cuyamaca
right.
is going to be a vaccination site starting next week. So we'll have that going on at the Cuyamaca. They're going to be one of the vaccination sites.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Stephen, did you and Glenn want to work out on a calendar as far as a date for that?
Yeah, I'll coordinate with Glenn and I'll talk to Jim Bray and everyone to just kind of align what sites would be good to walk, what completed projects, things of that sort. In the meantime, I will give a heads up. We are looking to do kind of 2 virtual tours at Cuyamaca College, much like we did at Grossmont College for the PVAC building in Building 31, which I can share with all the new members too. Just those are more active construction sites. They aren't completed projects. But we definitely wanted to give the CBOC a taste of what's going on, and we're setting those up next week. So hopefully we'll have some content at least by the next meeting with those if we can't get something in person. So just
yeah, we can likely do sort of 2 tours, maybe one for the new members, look at PVAC and Building 31 on Grossmont College, which are completed projects. With some of the members who have been here a while have seen to keep that group small. And then take a look over at Cuyamaca College. We have ornamental horticulture, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, that's finishing up. So that's a nice site to walk of one that's completing. And then we've got the Student Services Building at Cuyamaca, which is right next door, which is a big dirt field right now. So it's kind of good to take a look at that. So when we come back for the progress ones, you get to know what it was like at the beginning. So, and we can kind of limit the numbers that way as well.
Yeah. Good.
Great. Okay. Good deal. Well, Jim, since you're all warmed up, we'll go ahead and go straight into new business and start with your report.
All right. Thank you.
all right. Bring it up for you, Jim.
Thanks. Right, so for the new members, what we do is we have a report where we look at each of the ongoing projects. We have some recent photos and kind of go through where they're at overall. And so if you want to go to the next slide, Stephen, please.
There we go.
All right. So we'll take a look at the Grossmont College update, Cuyamaca College update, and then a cost savings update. And so we'll start with Cuyamaca College. And so there's basically 2 general types of projects that we do. One are, the building projects, new buildings, renovations. Those are exciting ones everyone wants to visit. But we also have a number of important projects that are infrastructure type projects. So they're the ones that provide the power, water, all the stuff you need to make the buildings run. And they get a little less attention, but they're equally as important. And so this first one for Grossmont College is the master pump station. And what this is it's a series of pumps to provide water pressure for the campus. There's some issues there with the water pressure between the domestic, fire, and all that. So this is to level all it out, especially with all the new construction. So design is ongoing right now. We have anticipating going out to bid March 2021. That may be a little optimistic. We're working through a few issues with Padre Dam. That's the water provider, but we're working through those and we'll get this one out to bid. So next slide. So this is the next big project on Grossmont College. For short, we call it Building 36. And what we basically did was remove the existing Building 36 and 3 smaller buildings that were around it, and we're putting in a new 2-story building. And where we're at right now is that if you look in that bottom photo, that big empty dirt field is where Building 36 used to be. And so we did an early demo project to do the hazardous material abatement of that and to demo the building. And so that allowed us to look for some unforeseen conditions and take care of that all up front before we start the actual construction of the building. We bid the new building recently. and got very good bids, which was a nice change. Came in under what we were looking at. And so we're currently evaluating the bids right now and hope to start construction in February. Oh, I'm sorry. Could you go back for just 1 second, Stephen? I'm sorry. So one of the things about this building is this includes a new veteran center for the campus. And one of the items of emphasis for the bottoms were support for veterans. So a renovated veteran center was provided at Cuyamaca College, and a new one's going to be provided here. This is the Arts and Communications Complex Phase 2. And so right now what we're doing is reviewing the scope of what's desired versus the remaining funds that are available. And so we're working on the campus and district on a review of that to see what the final scope of this project will be and built under this one. And this one has a little bit of time because we need to complete building 36 that we just looked at before we can start the actual construction of this one. So this is Liberal Arts Complex, buildings 51 and 55. And this is actually a partially state-funded project. There's one on Grossmont and there's one on Cuyamaca College. And the one on Grossmont College is basically a renovation of 2 existing buildings, mostly interior renovation. This one's in design, and we're looking to start construction in roughly December of 2022. And this is part of a complex right now of there's buildings 51, there's 52, 53, 54, and then building 55. 51 and 55 are sort of wing buildings that come off of the 52 through 54, and then eventually under a future bond, the idea is to replace buildings 52 through 54. But right now it's basically a renovation of these 2 wings with state funding. Okay. Now we're going to move over to Cuyamaca College, and this is the project that I just mentioned a couple of minutes ago. Ornamental horticulture complex and building M renovation. Building M is an existing classroom building that's being renovated as part of the OH project. And there's also a little bathroom wing that goes off it. And that's that bottom wing there is one of the remodeled classrooms that you see. So basically a complete interior gut, took it down with the studs, rebuilt it with energy savings, new lighting, new electrical. And so it's good for another 20, 50 years. Then the top building that you see is one of the new buildings that's being installed under this project as well. That's the offices and sales office. It's a great building, and hopefully you'll be able to see it on a tour soon. And they're finishing this one up. We expect them to finish up this project in March. And there's some, what's not shown here is some greenhouses that are also being constructed on the site. So they're going to have really nice facilities when this is done. This is the other project that I just mentioned, the Student Services Building. This is one that just recently started. It's if you're familiar with the campus, this is sort of near the I building, looking out towards all the parking that's on campus, and you'll see they're doing they did the grading, they did the clearing, grubbing, getting rid of the bushes, trees, that sort of stuff. And now they're working on getting in utilities and grading for the pad. And we expect this to finish around April of 2022 is the plan.
Jim?
Yeah.
I just want to also mention, and I did send you the email, Stephen, that there will be a groundbreaking ceremony. It's going to be a live stream on February 4th at 9 a.m. And Stephen, I just sent you the email if you want to forward that to the CBOC members, if anyone would like to be there.
Oh, sure. So is it the live stream, Sahar?
It's a live stream, yeah, on February 4th at 9 a.m.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I will send that out.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Sahar. And in keeping with the COVID stuff, it's going to be a very small groundbreaking, socially distanced, the mask, the whole things, but a groundbreaking nonetheless. And we've got plenty of choices for where to shovel, as you can see. So not for a want of that. Let's see, next slide. So this is the project on Cuyamaca College. That's the partially state-funded project. And this has been a very interesting one to work on, particularly with the state requirements. But anyway, there's an existing F building, which is very old. And the intent is to replace the F building with a combination of two things. One is going to be a new building, which is the partially state-funded building. And that's the layout that you see there that shows the different types of classrooms. It's a 2-story building. And then the other piece of this is the renovation of the existing A building. And so what'll happen is once the student services building, which is a previous side, is completed, people that are currently in the A building will move into SSB, and then we'll remodel that for some of the people that are in the F building. And the reason we're doing that is a condition of getting the state funding. The entire F building has to be torn down. So we're looking at one building, which the state is funding, and then a remodel to get the items that won't fit into the new building. This is a cost savings update, cost avoidance update that we do, kind of report we do each quarter to track this. And what it basically shows is cost savings or avoidances. Mostly what you'll see, like building 36, this was involved with the demolition abatement. That's change order schedule negotiations. And so it'll be like the contractor comes in with a change order, says he wants $1, we say 50 cents. And, eventually with the district's blessing, we get to a number and look for the savings there. OH complex, that's similar change order negotiation saving. And with the greenhouse, there's a scope reduction. And what that is there was a section of fence along one of the new buildings, which is a block building. And so rather than running the fence all the way along it, we're just tying it into the building and saving the cost of all that fencing. And that was something I think, Ken, you suggested. So it worked out very well for everybody. That's that. And then questions. Okay. And then with
Hey,
that,
Jim, one question real quick. Since I'm an architect and I haven't done any haven't started any real new classroom type of buildings recently. So I'm just curious on stuff that's under design right now at either Grossmont or Cuyamaca, I guess Cuyamaca maybe. Are they thinking about reduction of capacities and occupancies in any of the classrooms based on the pandemic? Or has there been discussion just saying, hey, we're going to build this as usual, and then they'll have to decide how many people they want to put in these spaces?
So there's been a lot of discussion on it. 36 was obviously, the design was completed a while ago. So, and it has some larger size classrooms anyway. Unfortunately, both 51, 55, which is an existing building, and the F building are through or not unfortunately, but one of the conditions of the state funding is you have to build what you put in at your FEP time or you lose.
Right.
So we haven't really gotten to the point where we're looking at new classrooms and sizes. There has been a ton of discussion about it, and will continue to be. Sort of the arts and comms phase 2 will be the first one.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yep. Any other questions? Okay. So I'll turn it over to Marty then for the CBA discussion.
Yes, sir. I'll get that up for you, Marty.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about the Project Labor Agreement, and or now known as the Community Benefit Agreement. I'm going to discuss a little bit about the history of it. I'm going to talk about some of the outreach efforts we've been conducting lately. And then I'm going to go into some KPIs to give you an update on the reporting for the oversight of the CBA. Stephen?
Can you see the screen,
No.
Marty?
No.
And that would probably help if we get the presentation up. All right, how about now?
Yes.
Yeah, good to go.
So just to give a little bit of background about the Project Labor Agreement, or PLA, the board resolution approval was November 15th, 2016. It became effective March 28th, 2017, and it was effective through March 28th, 2020. As we were going through and putting the PLA and negotiating it, we sat down with the chancellor, the board, and the CBOC and came up with an evaluation plan, and that became effective on March 16th, 2017. And that evaluation plan basically evaluated some key performance indicators on the CBA or PLA. And I'm going to go over those a little bit more as we go through the presentation. But the original PLA contained 3 projects. It contained the Grossmont College PVAC project, the Grossmont College Building 31 project, and the Cuyamaca College Ornamental Horticulture project. So let's fast forward to now. The PLA is now the Community Benefit Agreement, and the board resolution approval was May 19th, 2020. It became effective March 28th, 2020, and it was an extension of the existing PLA. The CBA contains 2 projects. It contains a Grossmont College Science, Math, and Career Tech Complex Building 36 and the Cuyamaca College Student Services Building. So those are the 2 projects that are currently under the CBA. Stephen, so as I said, during the negotiation phase and as we started the PLA up, we sat down and came up with an evaluation plan. And the evaluation plan had key performance indicators of the CBA, and the KPIs are divided into 4 key sections. They are local hire, and we're going to look at the goals in the local hire workforce evaluation, project cost impacts, project schedule impacts, and program cost impacts. So as I said, we're also going to talk a little bit about some efforts we've been doing lately on outreach, as well as trying to engage and bring more veterans onto the job sites to work on these projects. We have been doing, ever since the PLA was approved and came into effect, we've been doing some real concentrated contractor and community outreach to get out there and get the contractors aware of the projects going on at the Grossmont Cuyamaca Community College District, as well as the local workers, to educate them on the opportunities at the 2 campuses. So we've been attending outreach events, and a couple examples is we attend job fairs at Grossmont Cuyamaca. The last one I attended was in the quad at Grossmont Center. I was right at Grossmont College next to the IBW. We do any contractor outreach events that are available. And Stephen also puts together a couple outreach events during the year to bring in contractors and workers to educate them on the upcoming opportunities and to let them know that there are opportunities for them to work on these projects. As we're moving forward with COVID-19, we've obviously had some restrictions, but we're attending and exploring online contractor outreach opportunities to be able to continue to engage the community, in particular, the community within the Grossmont Cuyamaca Community College District footprint, but also engage the community in San Diego County. And that's what we really are targeting, is we're targeting the San Diego County residents and contractors, as well as the East County contractors and residents. And we like to see our working with the building trades and the carpenters as a partnership, right? So we coordinate our efforts with the building trades and the carpenters through these outreach. We work with them and we attend their outreach activities. They have apprenticeship days, they have apprenticeship outreach activities. We go there and discuss the community benefit agreement and the opportunities to work on the Grossmont Cuyamaca Community College District projects. We have a monthly meeting with the building trades where we give an update of the CBA and what's going on, and we talk about any issues or anything going on there. And during these monthly meetings, we're really encouraging the business representatives to focus on the dispatch of local hire, local people within the footprint of the district and or San Diego County, and also really focus on veterans. We're really focusing on ensuring that the veterans get opportunities to work on these projects. And we're also working with the contractors to ensure that they are properly classifying and identifying their workers as veterans, because if they do not classify and identify in the LCP tracker, which is an online tracking system we use, that they are a veteran, then we will not know that. So we're doing a real concentrated effort to ensure we are bringing in local opportunity, ensuring we are identifying and encouraging veterans to be placed on the project and work on the projects. And we also made sure that the CBA language is included in the bidding documents so the contractors know that there is an expectation of local hire and an expectation of ensuring that San Diego residents and San Diego County contractors work on these projects. So KPI 1 is, I just went a little bit about outreach, is local hire. The CBA has the following local hire goals: within the footprint of the district, 40%, and within San Diego County, 90%. So if we look across at the projects, this is currently where we're at. The PVAC status, within the footprint, 28%, overall within San Diego County, 80%. Building 31, 26% within the footprint of the district, 80% overall. And I should point out there that building 31, in the beginning, we had some abatement activities that the union in San Diego did not handle. So we had to bring in workers from Local 300 from Los Angeles. So that had an impact on that number. Ornamental horticulture, 22% within the footprint, 88% overall. SSB, 64% of the footprint, 91% overall, and building 36 is to be determined once it starts. And to compare that against the non-CBA projects, 26% within the district and 74% within San Diego County. Disclaimer there, the numbers that are drawn from the community benefit agreement projects are drawn from LCP Tracker. It's a program that auto-generates these numbers. The non-CBA projects, once the project is done, we go hand count through and look at zip codes and manually compile that data for this report. And this is just a breakdown of the ornamental horticulture complex local hire workforce evaluation. You can see, and I have to lean in to see these small numbers. You can see within the footprint, we're at 23%, 22% in total overall. Thank you, Stephen. Total overall, with the footprint in San Diego County, we're at 88.48%. And also down below, we give you an idea of the demographic of the workers on these projects. Next slide. And this is the same information for the SSB. Now this project is fairly new, and you can see that's a low report of number of workers on the project at this point. But we're starting off great within the footprint of the district. We're at 63.64%, and total local area workers 90.91%. So that is in the infant stage, but we will continue to track.
Marty, just a real quick question for you on that. What trade is out there right now early on that is giving us such a high percentage?
I do not know, Dave.
So the trades are basically the earthwork guys, earthworkers, and some utility. That's about it right now.
Thank you.
Next slide. This slide will give you an indication of any project cost impacts with the CBA and in regards to the baseline estimate, bid day, and variance. And if we look at each one, we can see the PVAC baseline estimate was 24 million, bid day result was 29 million, the variance was 4.7 million. This was not rebid. The variance there was attributed to the bid environment. There was a lot of work going on at the time. Building 31, the baseline estimate was 7.5 million, bid day results 7.9 million, a variance of 400,000. And again, that one is attributed to the bid environment that was rebid. Ornamental horticulture baseline estimate was 11.5 million, bid day result 12.6 for an increase of 1.1 million. And that included, was rebid, but that included the greenhouse that was not originally included in the bid documents. So that was the variance there. And SSB 26.5 was the baseline estimate. Bid day results was 28.8 for a variance of 2.3. And again, this is bid environment and scope revisions on this project. It was the difference there. Even schedule impacts, KPI number 3. If we look at these 3 projects, we can see if there was any variance there. So PVAC, baseline duration 646, contract duration 646, variance is 0. I should, as a disclaimer, let you know that we are working through that to determine if there is a variance and what the cause of those variances were. So that number most likely will change at the next CBOC meeting when we present. Building 31, baseline duration was 339 days. Contract duration 353 for a variance of 14 days. And that variance was due to unforeseen building footing conditions. In the ornamental horticulture, baseline duration 470 days, contract duration 487, 17-day variance due to COVID-19 impacts. Program KPI 4 is the program cost impacts. Projects under the community benefit agreement, the LCP cost was $698,889 to a $84 million contract award, which comes out to about a 0.8% of construction costs. The non-community benefit agreement projects, LCP cost was $381,000 against awarded construction of $42 million for 0.9%. So that gives you an indication of the difference between the work being done under the CBA and the work being done outside of the CBA as we look at labor compliance and oversight of those documents. KPI number 4, program cost impacts. So we're going to give you a few items here to look at. We go from 2015, 2016 to now. The first is the administration fee. That is a fee to administer to the CBA, the on-site, the meetings, the oversight of the payroll, and the guidance to the contractors. You can see as it ramped up in 2017, 2018, the bulk was in 2018, 2019 with the large projects going. 2019, 20, it dipped down, and then 2020 with 2021, where we have to see quite a dip due to various factors, including COVID-19 not being on site and some various other activities. Then we look at the LCP management, which was incorporated for the first reporting periods. It was incorporated into the CBA administration. We have removed it so we can see the difference between the CBA and the LCP. For this year, we're at $12,364. Legal services was the main was 16-17 during the negotiation at 37,000, and then 17-18 we had a couple cleanup on the legal for the PLA, which resulted in 10,000. But since then we've had no legal fees, and for the total across, you can see across we go from 11,000 to 57,000 to 119 to 251. We dipped down a little bit as work slowed down to 221, and now we're at 36,752. The LCP for the non-CBA projects are across there as well. They range from 66,000, 99,000, 56, 83, 61, and 14,000 as well. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of the cost impacts of the CBA in labor compliance on these projects. Next, Stephen.
That's it.
Any questions?
Marty, just a comment. Thank you very much for putting those footnotes in there. I think it really helps to explain the thing to the layman.
Thank you, Glenn. I think that was your suggestion.
Marty, is there any opportunity as a committee member to support with any of the outreach efforts? Through my employment, we engage with veterans and veteran serving organizations all the time. So are there any opportunities?
Yeah, there are opportunities, and I'd be happy to schedule a time to chat with you, give you a little bit of insight about how we're doing the outreach and see how you can assist with that, or how we can collaborate to increase the local hire in veterans. That would be wonderful.
Great, thank you.
All right, thanks, Marty. Appreciate that. And that brings us to staff reports and back to Sahar.
Great, thank you, Dave. So this is a report that we bring to CBOC every quarter that shows our expenditures year to date with Prop V fund. And Stephen, can you scroll down? So the way we put together this report is the first page is a summary of the 3 sites: district services, Grossman College, Kiyumaka College. We have a couple of columns. So let me take a few moments to explain those columns. We have expenditures 13-14 to 17-18. So those are the actual expenditure between fiscal year 13-14 to 17-18. And then the next column is the 18-19 expenditures, 19-20. And then for fiscal year 2021, the year-to-date expenditure as of December 31st. And then we have a total expenditure to date and the remaining balance for us. So from this report, you can see our total expenditure is 155 million. So that we still have almost 243,000, 100,000 a balance out of the 398 million. I'm sorry, 242. Did I say thousand? So we spent 155.2 million. Sorry, it's late. We spent 155 million, and then we still have 252 million left. And then and then you'll see we added the interest. So we have been earning interest on the Prop V, and you'll see in the beginning we haven't been earning a lot of interest, but then in 18-19 and 19-20, the interest rate went up. So we've received year to date, we have received almost 7.3 million in interest. So this is kind of the summary, the first page, and then we go in the detail for each of the sites or locations. So we have district services, we list the projects, and then again, same information, expenditures, year to date, total expenditures, and then the project balance. So that's district services. And then we have Grossman College. Again, we list all the projects, expenditures year to date, and then where we are with the balance for each of those projects. And then we have Kiyumaka College. And then this is district-wide expenses, which are mainly the IT, the technology and technology infrastructure, program management, and other program costs related to Prop V. And then I believe the next couple of pages, we have, those are not Prop V projects, but we added projects that were funded with some state funds. So for Grossman College, we had some of the Proposition 39, those were state funded projects that we received from the states. And then for Kiyumaka College, we had also some Prop 39. Those are energy conservation funds. And then for Kiyumaka, Stephen, again, they had some Prop 39 projects, but also building age renovation. That was a grant that Kiyumaka College had received. So we used that grant to fund part of the building age renovation at Kiyumaka College, which is their math and science building. Any question on this report? So again, as I said, we will bring this report to CBOC every quarter to look at.
Zahar, back to the first one, the project balance. Is that money here, or are those tranches that are going to have to be sold?
No, good question, Glenn. If you scroll down a little bit, Stephen, you'll see that we still have Series C and D that we haven't issued of 192 million. So
Okay.
of the money that we have 55 million left.
Okay.
And then the plan is we're working right now with our underwriter. We're looking at going out to issue a Series C bond probably in around April or May.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Good question, though. Thank you. Any other question? Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sahar. So we've got some new faces in the crowd. Any questions about tonight's meeting or the next meeting? Well,
Good job.
No, very impressive.
good. Well,
A lot of great work going on.
yeah, agreed. A lot of work behind the scenes going on by the people at GAFCON and there on campus, without a doubt. I think we're all being very good stewards of the taxpayers' money. So if we don't have anything else, then I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. We can't leave till somebody says adjourn.
So moved.
All right, second.
Second.
All right, thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Night, everyone.
Thanks.
Good
Steve.
night.
Well, welcome to
Night.
all the new committee members too.
Thank you. Thank you
Thanks
for
for
having
joining
us.
us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So is it just us?
And then you got
Do you want to
Ken,
unmute Ken? Ken, you're still on mute.
and then
Are you
Fred.
in your pantry?
Yeah, well, what happened was, it was funny because we've got like one account like this, and happens they put it in my name. So when I went on, I bumped his background off. Then we figured out how to get both of them on, and then something happened where it came off, and I'm like, screw it. I'm not going to touch anything because the whole thing's going to blow up. It's going to go off. Screw it. You want to see my pantry? Here it is.
Well, Jim, all you had to do was put an apron behind you and,
There you go.
and something else to make it look, like a real pantry and kitchen. It's a real pantry, but give it some drama.
Yeah.
Drama. There you go.
And I'm glad that you didn't do anything else, Jim, because as soon as, for whatever reason, my background went out like mid thing. So if there was a hesitation to get the flag up on my end, it's because it completely logged me out. So I like disappeared for about a minute.
Okay.
Is this
So guys,
Zoom
while I
again?
have you on the
Yeah,
phone, with the new stay home order lifted, I think we should go have sushi next week.
So technically in San Diego, restaurants are still takeout only. Oh no, you can do outside, can't you?
No, outside dining, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
My teeth are grinding for sushi so bad. And
I'm
then
with you, man.
every time I go, it's usually in Phoenix, and I have this thing about thinking, and this ain't fresh. Not during COVID. You can't fly in. Yeah, I need to be eating sushi in San Diego, not in Phoenix. So yeah, maybe we can set something up. I know, we should try to get something soon so we can all.
Why don't we go to Bamboo next week?
That could be a possibility. Yeah, because we can eat outside. Let's send me an invite.
I'll work with Steven and we'll coordinate something for maybe next week, Wednesday or something.
Cool. And then on your question, Ken, probably because we didn't think about building L.
Oh, just because all of a sudden I realized, whoa, shoot, if we're doing grants, water, wastewater, and that might be something to add, because that is not a hot one, but it is, women in the workforce. But I don't want to change.
Well, actually, I guess the reason is we haven't reported on that one, building L, as far as I know.
Oh, okay. Wasn't that a bond project?
It was. We did report on it.
Oh, okay. I lied.
It dropped off.
Okay.
It dropped off. We did that. And I know it's still kind of lingering to a certain degree, but no, we
Okay.
dropped that off a while back.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a year ago.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, at least.
Okay.
It's just one of those ones that they get to mention again,
Yeah.
women in the
Nice.
workforce and all that
Okay.
stuff. It's a good one. So just in case. So we're fully transparent. Meeting went really freaking well today with Pat Thiss and
Oh, did it?
and the new dean and
Okay.
Nikki and myself and Brian. So we have the go ahead to move forward with going out to bid, because I kind of said, look, why don't we just try it? We can always yank it. When we get our new director on board, we'll make one of our first priorities to get the piggyback source well in as best that we can to try to get it going. So we have a backup plan. But
Right.
no, it's going to take more time. It's going to cost you more money. If you'll get what you want, we have a backup. And Pat and his name is Temo.
Yeah.
Temo, all on board, very happy. Nikki was
Cool.
like, I'm shocked. I'm just shocked that this went so incredibly well. Julie just sent thank yous to Brian and I. We're going to move forward, and hopefully this one will be put to bed and not have any more pushback on that. So
That's
I'm hoping.
great.
Yeah, that's our goal. Sweet. And then just to let you know, Sahar just told me we are moving forward with an RFP for she says an RFPs we're moving forward. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We're moving forward on FPPs on those two projects because we want to be in line. So we're going to be spending $80,000 per FPP. But we'll get in line for the bond. Eric convinced Sahar that if we don't, by the time that you get your bond and stuff, you have already missed another year. You're not even going to be in until 2027, 2026, 27 to get in line. And if you do it now, you'll be in the next, that type of thing. So, and
so can we take a look at that? And
yeah,
look at
yes,
the
definitely.
consequences, so we don't
we're not
have
going to do the same,
again,
same bullshit as last time, as
Awesome.
well as we will be updating the facilities master plan. So, which is good.
Serious about another bond, or
going to go for the bond. I'm trying to convince Sahar we need to do this by 2022 or get moving as early now, so we don't make the same stupid mistakes. Right. The only thing that we find out is that we need more money than they're really willing to give us. So looks like we'll be talking. We'll be moving some stuff forward. So Yahoo, awesome. You guys will be around for longer. So rock and roll. All right, guys, catch you later.
Thanks,
guys. All right,
guys.
take care.
Thank you, Stephen.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.